Hi, I'm Psiman and welcome to this short video where I'm going to give you a few tips that have helped me improve my gaming with FPS games on the PC. I'm going to preface this video for those of you that haven't seen one of mine before and don't know about my gaming history. I am not a great FPS player. I'm okay, I'm a pretty average gamer with Battlefield 4 is probably the FPS game I play the most. In fact, no, it definitely is the FPS game I play the most. Currently, of course, I've played other games in the past, but since getting my G403 Logitech gaming mouse, and I did a video about this recently where I said how much I like it, I've wanted to and have got better at Battlefield. But let me tell you a few things, and the mouse is just the first of those. And my tip is get a decent gaming mouse. Doesn't need to be an expensive one, but I think something that's responsive, that if it's wireless, there's not really any chance of any lag or signal being interrupted, but also something that fits your hand nicely. I think for me, that's a really important thing, that the mouse is comfortable as well. And the second tip is a little change to make on Windows, and this is something that I didn't know about. So let's take a look. On your Windows settings, I'm running Windows 10 as you can see. Going to the mouse settings and additional mouse options, you can go on to pointer options, and there's this, I think it's on some versions of Windows it's called mouse acceleration. On this one it's enhanced pointer precision. Make sure that is unticked, because then the movement of the mouse is always linear, and the amount you move every time, the cursor will move, and the crosshairs in the game you're playing will move that same amount. And this, I don't know why I never thought of that, but I noticed just changing this one thing made a big difference, because for these sorts of games, muscle memory is really important, and making sure that every time you move the mouse, it moves the same amount on screen is, I think, the key to being very accurate. I didn't realize, like, sometimes before doing this, I'd move, and then if I moved the same distance but more slowly, the cursor or the crosshair would end up in a different place, and it's all because of this. Another thing to consider that's sort of related to this is if you play many different FPS games, and at the moment really I only play Battlefield and Battlefront, but if I were to play Call of Duty, for example, I did used to play that quite a lot in the past, but haven't played it since, I think, Black Ops 2? No, in fact I didn't really even play that one very much. Black Ops, the original, I think, was the last one where I played a lot of Call of Duty. Since then, I've mostly concentrated on Battlefield 4. But one thing that can help you is using a trusty ruler and making sure that 360 degrees of movement in one game is the same in another game. And to do that, you just simply need to go into the game of your choice. For me, as I said, that's Battlefield 4, and I've just come to the test range. And all you need to do is line up your crosshairs with something on the horizon. Here I've got the edge of this concrete block. And then set your mouse, so the middle of the mouse is at 0 on your ruler. And then you just aim and then move your mouse and try and do a nice smooth 360-degree rotation, and then where does that come on my mouse? 32 centimeters. So what I'd try to do is, for every other game I set up, for the basic scoped sight, set it to that 32 centimeters. Now if I go back and put the mouse back at 0, or as close to it as I can get, and see what that lines up for unscoped sight. Okay, and we've got about 19 centimeters. So again, try and get that same kind of movement, so you know that whatever you move, quarter rotation, then you should see the same amount of movement with your mouse. For me, about 5.5 centimeters. Gone a bit too far that time. Yeah, so it's about the same amount. So for me, that's really helped going from one game to the next, but also kind of choosing a type of movement, a degree to lateral movement that matches throughout my games, but also kind of finding what was right for me and then sticking to that, and sort of training myself to get more accurate using it. So I know that small movements, how much they're going to translate to in the actual movement of my hand. So if I want to get up there or back down here, I know, okay, that's roughly going to that post, that tree over there, the guard tower, the little ATV guard tower in the background, that one over there. Yeah, I'm not perfect at it, but I can get reasonably close, or closer than I did before when I hadn't kind of set it up for some kind of consistency, when I was using the mouse acceleration feature. So that, combined with the other tips, has definitely helped improve my game. So let's take a look at a little bit of gameplay footage so we can see what I mean. So this footage was taken from a server I was playing on a couple of days ago. It's not the normal Battlefield, normal Battlefield 4. It's the gun game version, or that's what this server was running. So a small number of players, only 5 a side. And if you haven't played gun game before, the way it works is that every 2 kills that you get, you can see there, I got lucky, but it was quite easy for me to take out those 2 guys in quick succession. Yeah, the gun game, the way it works is every 2 kills that you get, you go up to a different weapon. And then after, I think, about 16 weapons, you get the knife, and whoever gets the first knife kill wins the game for, well, themselves and their team. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm not the best player by any means, but compared to how I played before, I'm definitely acquiring the targets faster than before. Now, another tip that I'm trying to follow is not to rush in too quickly and sort of analyze the scene and think more about where the enemy are and where they're going to go next. Yeah, I got quite lucky there as well, because I do have a habit for impatience and trying to run in and, you know, be the first person on the scene to try and take out the enemy, but normally that results in me dying and having to go back and respawning again. Another thing you might notice there is that I've got that ribbon for spotting the enemy, and I try to do that as much as possible to help my teammates. I mean, I know this is a feature that's not available in every FPS title, but making your teammates aware of where the enemy are, they can always jump in and help you out. So I'm always poised to hit the Q key, so that kind of puts the enemy on the mini-map for a few seconds for your teammates to see. Another tip that I think is a useful one, and I'm trying to get used to, is making sure that wherever you are running or walking, you're always aiming at the height of where you think the enemy is going to come from. And I do have a bit of a habit with, when I'm moving around, pointing just a little bit towards the ground. And of course, the further you have to move the crosshair to the enemy, the longer it takes. So if your crosshair's already in the position where you think the enemy is going to come from, then you can acquire the target much faster. Yeah, so like here, whereas, I mean, I didn't kill the guy over there, but I'm able to be a lot more accurate than I was before. So as you'll see here, he pops out the door at the side. And getting, I mean, that's a pretty tight shot, but getting the bullets on target as quickly as I did, yeah, no. So I died, you know, can't win them all. So as you can see, I managed to get to the top of the table there, and if I remember correctly on this map, I did actually get to the knife first, but didn't do too well, and someone else ended up winning the level. But yeah, I've definitely seen an improvement in my FPS gaming, at least my Battlefield 4 gaming. And I think if you're someone who's already quite good at FPS games, but you're not doing any of the things I mentioned, you too will see quite a big improvement in your game for sure. You might go from good to great, whereas I've gone from average to not too bad. So I'm very happy with the performance increases, and it's definitely made playing the games even more enjoyable. And I know this game's pretty old. What is it, 3 years old now? I still have a lot of fun, and I've got no interest in moving over to Battlefield 1 because I haven't got bored of this game yet. And the new mouse, making the changes to the setup I've got, has just made it even more fun to play. So thank you very much for watching. I hope these tips helped you in some way. At least maybe there was one thing that you've got from it that you weren't doing before. So from my spare room to wherever you are, this is Psiman signing off. Bye bye.